You know there's always that one potato salad that disappears first? Well, this is that recipe, and now it's vegan. It's creamy, it's tangy, it's delicious, and nobody's gonna know it's vegan unless you want them to. Hi, I'm Stephanie, and I like to help people transition to a plant-based diet so that they can live longer or feel better, but still enjoy their food. Let's get started on our potatoes. We need to cut up our potatoes for our potato salad. I am going to use my favorite chopper. I call it the Whopper chopper. We got that when the kids were little. They would call it the Whopper chopper because they would whop everything. So I like to use it because it makes everything the same size, and this is the perfect size for a potato salad because you want small chunks of potatoes so you get all the good stuff in each bite. So to do that, I'm just going to slice these into slices. I went ahead and washed these already, and I like to use red potatoes for the potato salad because I don't like having to peel potatoes. Russets do tend to fall apart. Red potatoes actually have more protein than a russet potato. So either a red potato or a yellow potato, the color on the skin makes it look prettier. So we're just chopping these into slices. I've actually got a few extras here because if I'm going to boil potatoes, I want to have a few extra. I think I'm going to have tacos later for supper, and I think I will make some potato tacos. If you haven't tried those, we have a Taco Bell kind of copycat to their potatoes that we like to do a potato soft taco for. And so I'll make extra potatoes for that while I am making potato salad. All right, let's whop them, chop them. I'm sure you've seen me do this before, so we'll speed right through it, okay? So there's all of our potatoes. I'm going to go ahead and boil all of them because when I make my roasted potatoes for my potato soft tacos, I like to have them pre-cooked anyway because that makes it a little easier. That makes them crisp up faster and get done faster. Let's go ahead and make the egg part of our potato salad. We're going to use tofu for that. And if you don't like eggs in your potato salad, you certainly do not have to add them. I don't put them in mine, but I do know it's a favorite, and I learned this trick a long time ago so that people will think they're eating mom's potato salad instead of the vegan version. I've drained the water out of my tofu, and I'm just going to crumble it into my pan. We're just crumbling it up into chunks about the size that you would want your eggs to be in the potato salad. Now, if you want to chop this up so it looks more like chopped eggs, that's fine, but I find that in potato salad it always kind of crumbles all together anyway. We're going to cover that with water, and then we're going to add a couple of teaspoons of the chicken style seasoning. In fact, I'm going to do 3 because I want it to be really flavorful. And then I'm going to add just a smidge of turmeric. A smidge of turmeric, and that's going to give it the eggy color that we want. Let's put this on the stove to cook for about 10 minutes or so. While the tofu, eggs, and the potatoes are cooking, we're going to go ahead and mix up our dressing so that it's ready to go. I like to add in some vegan Hellmann's mayonnaise. If you want to cut the fat a little bit and not use all mayonnaise, you can use some plant-based yogurt in place of some of the mayonnaise, and that will give a nice tangy flavor without being too fat. But I'll do about a half a cup of, I'll do about a half a cup of this mayonnaise. To that, I'm going to add some more of that chicken broth powder. I'm using 2 teaspoons of it here. I'm also going to add in a fair amount of sweet pickle relish. Like this is half of the small jar. I'm going to use that. I do like this Mount Olive pickle relish better than most. I used to love the Paws pickles. I don't know if you've seen those, not PA's pickles, whatever it was, but they are out of business and so you can't get them anymore. They were lemon juice pickles and they were so good. All right, so let's stir that together. I also am going to add in some dill pickles. So the combination of dill and sweet pickles is kind of a trick to this recipe. I don't have any dill relish, so I'm going to go ahead and just chop up some of my Clausens. There we go. And make sure you get a little bit of that pickle juice in there too. That makes a really good potato salad dressing. Okay. Now that chicken broth powder is a little salty, but it's not salty enough for our potato salad. So we're going to have to add in just a little bit of salt. I'm using some kosher salt here. Okay, our dressing is ready. I'm going to put our hot potatoes right into here because I love the way the hot potatoes soak up the dressing, and it also helps potatoes to fall apart just a little slightly when you mix it up so it's even creamier. So let's go ahead and I'm going to use a cup measure. I want about 6 or 7 cups of potatoes here. And all the rest I'll save for a different meal. So I'm going to do 1, 2, whoops. They're hot. All right. I'm also going to add in a cup of onions. These are freshly cut. You know I like to keep my onions chopped. I chop everything up on Sunday so that I have my veggies ready to go. And then I'm going to do a cup of celery. All of these I used my Whopper chopper to cut. So they're all chopped up and easy to go. And I'm going to stir that up. Now that's our potato salad. Doesn't that look great? Oh, yum. Okay, my family is divided on whether eggs belong in potato salad or not, so I'm only going to put the tofu eggs in half of my potato salad, and I'm going to leave the other half without, if that makes any sense. So we're going to put half of this into here. So I'm going to just kind of do like that. Put that in there. If your family loves mustard in their potato salad, go ahead and add it to this, but my family is not a mustard family, so we are leaving it out. And let's give it a taste test. That's going to be the best potato salad at the potluck. Vegan or not. It's so good.